strife and discord in these mortal realms.
Speak with the maid.
Greetings.
I'll see what I can do to help the injured.
The incessant clamor of the undead at the gate finally stops, and you come through the gate. It is a relief to finally see someone new from among the living. Is Akusri correct in thinking you have come to our aid? Good, very good. The tunnel is cleared then, yes? Akusri is eternally grateful. He can make it back to Marburg and send reinforcements to hold the tunnel. The far greater concern is discovering what has prompted the undead to attack. Yes, this one saw the prince with his own eyes. He is no longer Nemendo. He has been raised and possessed by some darkness. Even so, Akusri does not understand. The prince ordered his forces to attack, and then he disappeared. No one knows, but if destroying Marburg were his goal, you would expect the prince to remain, yes? No, the prince planned something else, and his plans must be uncovered. You are clearly capable. I think you should undertake this task. Engineer will know better. You came in together, so this one assumes you are already acquainted, yes? He is strange, even for a Bosmer, but Akuzri has never met an elf who understands nature so well. Come though, let us consult with him. Engineer, stop trying to save everyone. You cleared the tunnel, and that is enough. Akuzri will return to Marburg and send reinforcements
here. That makes sense. Perhaps it's better if I go out into the pass and try to discover why Naaman ordered the undead to attack in the first place.
Yes, both of you go. Find out what Naaman is planning, and report to Marburg. Don't try to do all this on your own. And of course, may bright moons light your path.
I appreciate the main sentiment and the support of the Dominion, but ultimately, it falls on us to protect Valenwood. Since the Sylvanar's death, I get the sense that Queen Irene feels she owes us something, but we Bosmer are not helpless. Of course not, and I'm grateful for your assistance. It's true that I can't do this alone. I just think marching the entire army into the forest would be a mistake. Come though, we mustn't tarry. We must discover the Shade's true motivation. I don't think it's that simple. The Shade has assumed Naaman's form. It retains some of Naaman's memories, but it's a different entity now, with different motivations. The Shade is undead, so we must consult the dead to discern its intentions. Drilladan Pass is old. Many Bosmer died here, and some cannot be raised by any magic. They are the accursed souls who violated the Green Pact. Come with me and we will try to commune with them. Perhaps they will know what the Shade truly plans. Oh, there are many ways. Perhaps they cut down a tree, or ate berries from the local plants. Sometimes their intentions were good, but Valenwood is unforgiving. If they violate the Pact, they cannot pass from this plane. No, they are tethered to their remains, and they cannot pass into death, nor can they return to life. Thus they remain witness to all that transpires among living and dead alike, but unable to participate. Come, let us see what they know of Naaman. I've been underground too long. I can't wait to get back out into the forest.
Well?
I think we're in luck. Though most of the local wildlife has fled from the undead, the torchbugs have remained. Many people do not know this, but torchbugs are among the most perceptive creatures in the forest. They're amazing. I can ask one of them to lead you to the remains of the cursed dead. If you can find the skulls or some such, bring them to the stone table. I will go ahead and prepare so we can commune with them. Just trust me on this. It'll work. You'll see. Let's see if I can speak to this one. Come here, little one. Yes, that would be so helpful. Thank you. Off it goes. Follow it to find the skulls and then meet me at the stone table. You who were condemned, hear me. Your only hope of being released is to tell us why the dead have been risen.
Ha! We need no release. The shade of Naaman heralds a new age, an age where we will be restored, and you are the ones who will be judged.
Hold on, how do you know that? Did the Shade actually tell you that?
He doesn't have to. When the forest is transformed, who do you think will inhabit the Shadowwood? We will.
Naaman does not have the power to release any of you, but I do. Help us and you'll have your chance at freedom.
I'll tell you, don't listen to that fool. The Shade seeks to corrupt the forest, to create a new realm. It's called the Shadow Wood.
I suspected something like this. It explains what we've seen. The Shade of Naaman does not seek destruction, it seeks transformation. We need to close these shadow rifts quickly. First though, I promise their souls release. Not easily, but I promise them. Since I will fulfill the sentence, I think you should decide whether any of them should be released.
We told you what you wished to know. Little good that it will do you. But we were promised release. Please, you must release me. I shifted, which is strictly forbidden by the Green Pact. I was cocky, did it to prove that I could, that's all. It was a mistake. I understand that now. Please, I've suffered enough.
It's odd to watch the slaughter of your people through the empty sockets of your own skull. My family was slaughtered by the Wood Orcs, and I burned down their village, every last structure, every last tree for revenge. I shouldn't have harmed the forest. I should have rallied my people in a morning war and feasted on my enemies.
Fool, do you not see what's upon you? Look around. The shadow will consume all Tamriel and usher in a new age. An age where the dead will be redeemed and the living will suffer. The other races laugh at us. Why do we depend on them for wood we could easily take for ourselves? The Green Pact is for the weak. We are not the servants of the forest. The Green should serve us.
Glad that's done. The pleading of the condemned is almost too much to bear. One way or another, they are returned to the forest. I won't question your judgment. Their fates are decided, but the fate of Valenwood is what concerns me. These shadow rifts the skulls mentioned, we must close them quickly. That's where the Shade's realm is bleeding into ours. I haven't quite figured that out. I can feel them, though. They feel like wounds in the forest. I have some small ability to mend the green, but it requires all of me. I'm going to need your protection. However many rifts they open, I will close them all, every one. Such foul creatures in my forest will not be tolerated.
Leave the shadow rifts alone or you will suffer for it.
will cleanse the forest or die trying.
Desist, living one. You meddle with forces you cannot understand. I will purge this corruption from Valenwood, whatever it takes. You go too far. Now you will experience the Shadowwood for yourself.
Once again, we find ourselves in the Shadowwood. As unpleasant as it is, I think I'm beginning to understand this place. I think I might know how Naaman's Shade is using it to corrupt the Green. I'll have to explain later. There's nothing we can do while we're trapped here. We need to find Naaman's servant and destroy him. I suspect he's at the stone table. Once again, you will have to defeat him. Quickly, I will meet you there.
hope you like it here. You're about to become a permanent resident.
It seems our circumstances are even worse than I imagined. The corruption of the Shadowwood expands across the forest. I fear it's too late to contain it. We must find the Shade of Naaman himself, here on this plane, if we are to stop him. I know not, but I certainly aim to find out. First, though, you must report what we've learned to Marbrook. We need to at least keep them informed. Don't worry, when the time is right, the forest will help me find you again. Until then, be safe. Don't take long. We must press on with our efforts.
Well? I can't believe my eyes. The undead are actually receding. For a while there, I thought you were making a last stand here. I'm betting it wasn't our brilliant tactics that drove them away, though. Conquering Marbrook wasn't their top priority, was it? Then it's as the Main suggested. Magical forces are at work here that we can't fight with sheer numbers. I shouldn't be surprised. I'm just glad we have you and Indenir on our side to sort this out. Yes, I think maybe Ifri smiles on us after all. I wish this victory didn't feel so hollow. Other than keeping the undead at bay, it seems there's little we can do to battle this darkness. We are here to support you and Indenir, though, if you need us. Are you going to rejoin him now? That's Indenir for you. Always trying to shoulder all the burden himself. We can't let him get away with that, though. There's whispers that Naaman's actually been raised as a lich, and if that's the case, Indenir's definitely going to need you. One of the spinners said Naaman was a lich and was at Hectorheim. You and Indenir should go there too when time allows. For now, though, Indenir's bound to be in Varant Morass or Dreadful Lane. You should catch up with him. He needs you. Indenir's a real piece of work, isn't he? I always thought he was half mad. They say he has the green in his blood, but most things that man does, I just don't understand. Recently, though, I've realized just how fortunate we are to have him. Mad as he is, I thought he came from the Bramblebreach clan, but some said it was Woodhearth. Truth is, no one knows. Even heard he was raised by an old grot oak, cradled in its roots, weaned on the dew from its leaves. He's a mystery, all right. Greetings.
Now, where did he run off? Well, aren't you the bold one, running around this part of the forest? You've got to be either fearless or just plain foolhardy. Haven't you seen the undead? I'm a Vine Dusk Ranger, and I'm not even sure I'm safe here. Ah, yes, you're the one he mentioned. He'll be glad you're here. The Veiled Heritants were one thing, but the undead are too much. They're Blackroot clan. They were a cruel lot even when they were living, and now they're even worse. Don't ask me. We're at a standstill as far as I'm concerned. I'm not even sure what's at stake. Until I know more, we're hunkering down here. Indania's been running around, though. He's probably got a plan, but you two are on your own for now. You know, he comes and goes. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Did she tell you? One of the greatest mysteries of Valenwood has finally been solved. Decades of conflicting rumors have been put to rest. We finally know what happened to the Blackroot clan. They died, right here in Verlaine. Yes, once again the work of Naaman's Shade and the Veiled Heritants. And yes, I do realize we need to return them to rest, but I'm hoping we can uncover more about what happened here while we do. Are you ready to get to work, my friend? The Blackroot clan warriors are even more bloodthirsty in death than they were in life. But there are also other spirits here, glimmers from the past, crying out for help. I think they're trying to show us something. We need to watch them. Look for the glimmers of the past I spoke of. Hopefully they will help us figure out how to put the Blackroot clan back to rest. What's that over there?
Elfirian, General Malgoth and the rest of the Blackroot troops are almost upon us.
Then it's time. Distribute the Nereid elixir and prepare to defend the village against the
No,
Blackroot.
that plan is madness!
Silence, Glonia. Our sacrifice today will ensure our sister villages live on.
Here's another scene. Let's watch.
Elfie, I can't do this. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
It's all right, Lenril. The poison itself is slow. The Blackroot will have cut our throats long before you felt its effects. Here, we'll drink it together, and I'll fight by your side till the end.
Until the end.
Now, to battle!
Look, another one!
That's the last of them, General. The village is clear.
An easy victory. Verlaine is the first to fall, but there will be more. Now, per the meat mandate, let us feast on the full. Prepare the cave temple. It's a suitable place for a celebration.
Look, another one.
General Morgoth, the troops. Half of them are dead. The other half...
Are dying, including us. This is poison. The villagers poisoned themselves to poison us.
What do you mean?
The meat mandate, you idiot. Elthyria knew she couldn't win on the field, but she'll still manage victory. To the Nereid Temple. Perhaps we can beg a cure.
Here's another scene. Let's
Rise,
watch.
my soldiers. Back to your bodies and take up
Why
arms.
do you command us from the ooze?
A powerful one, unknown to me, has stolen my bow. It invoked the right of theft, and commanded we march against the Dominion.
By your command.
What a sacrifice! To think the villagers actually poisoned themselves in order to poison the Blackroot clan. It may be morbid, but it's also brilliant. Of course, that really doesn't help us return the Blackroot warriors to their graves, does it? From what I gathered, one of Naaman's servants has stolen General Malgoth's bow and compels the Blackroot clan to fight by the right of theft. What we need to do is steal the general's bow back, and then we can release him from his vows. We must rely on the scenes of the past. After being poisoned, General Malgoth went to the Nereid Temple. It's likely he died within. I suggest you go in and search for the General's remains. I'll continue searching for clues out here in the forest. Be wary in there. Nereids wield dangerous magic and can never be trusted. It's no surprise they helped the villagers in their suicidal plot. In fact, the Nereids probably consider General Malgoth's bow a prize. They will defend his remains. Desperation turns enemies into allies. The villagers knew General Morgoth and the Blackroot clan were going to attack, and they knew they couldn't win. Likely they asked the Nereids for help, and the Nereids convinced them this was the best course. Of course, Morgoth sought to unite all the Bosmer under his leadership. He led the Blackroot clan to conquer much of Valenwood during the Bosmer tribal wars. Then, one day, they just disappeared. No one knew what happened, until now. The Bosmer have always been free peoples, bound only to the Green. Rarely have the tribes united under singular leadership, although for a period many, like Morgoth, tried. Most of the so-called wars were not fought at all, but won by trickery. Yes, General Morgoth had traveled far and wide. He had seen the greatness that comes to those who conquer through military might. That you'd not heard of him is a tribute to the sacrifice of the Verlaine Bosmer. As barbaric as it seems, many clans still lived by the old traditions during the Bosmer tribal wars. Mind you, they didn't consume the bodies of the dead because they enjoyed the taste. It was a matter of tradition. Apparently so, though the tactics they embrace sound more like a Nereid plot than something the villagers themselves might have come up with on their own. For General Morgoth, that's apparently the case. For all his ambition, he was still a staunch traditionalist. It's actually quite impressive that his sense of honor remains intact, even so many years after his death. I'd say this is a perverted case. The value that Morgoth placed on his bow alone may be enough for him to want it back. Or he may be using the right of theft as a more honorable justification for his new servitude. There was fear in his voice.
You would steal that which has already been stolen. Then enter the Shadowwood and seek it, though you will find only death. Come face me if it's the bow you desire. The bow is a boon to our army. You will not have it.
We're back in the Shadowwood. I had hoped not to visit here again. But if this is where he is holding the General's bow, then it's just as well. We need to find the Shade to get the bow back. I don't know. We'll have to search until we find it, though. In the meantime, however, do you recall the glimmers of the past we saw earlier? It seems those spirits are trapped here in the Shadowwood. We should release them. It's the Shadow Rifts that bind them here. From this side, you only need to touch the rifts to close them. That will release the spirits from their torment and weaken Naaman's grip on this place. If you'll focus on that, I'll search for the Shade. Good luck, and see you by the stones.
You will soon join us and fight at Morgoth's side. I hope you've prepared for undeath. Naaman warned me about you, and I prepared. You will die, and then you will serve.
That was a harrowing experience all around. I'm glad it's over. I hope we have succeeded in weakening Naaman's grasp on Valenwood as a whole. Only one thing remains. We must deal with the spirit of General Malgoth. Yes, and since you have succeeded in stealing it, it falls on you to invoke the right of theft with the General. Whatever you ask him, he will be compelled to do. The compassionate choice would be to release the General and his army, to allow them to return to their rest. But if you prefer, you might ask them instead to turn against Naaman and aid our forces in the fight for Valenwood. The choice is yours.
So it's true then? You have retrieved my bow from the shade? My father told me, you will find your bow in an animal's bone. Before it's even carved, you will see it. Mammoth's tusk. Extraordinarily difficult to make a good bow out of, but it was just like he said. I saw it, and I knew. What do you want? Death plays tricks. I thought you said leave, but that's not possible. We don't deserve rest. Not after what happened here. The ooze is the only fitting place for us.
You released him. I think that was the right thing to do. I'm glad to know that at least some of the spirits here will be able to rest, though I am sorry for the villagers who remain trapped in the Shadowwood. We've done all we can here, but it's clear that Naaman still seeks to harm Valenwood, so our work is not finished. I suggest we spread out and search for signs of darkness. When Auriel wills it, I am certain the Green will bring us together again. Unless you have questions for me, I will soon be on my way. We should both search the forest for other signs of Naaman's corruption. I fear at some point we will have to confront Naaman himself. A spiritual prison of a sort. Bosmer who break their oath to the Green Pact go there when they die, to reflect for an eternity. There's a place called Ours, where we bring the bodies of Oathbreakers. Some think it's a physical link to the ooze.
Yeah!
The elf. The Elf Queen demands.
You fought beside Lord Garishri in Haven? This one should be so lucky.
Nidras?
Diplomacy is the art of lying for your alliance.
Nidras?